What's up, folks? Your buddy Fatalroadie. Tonight we're going to do a Raw recap. Starting off with Drew McIntyre coming out. We have a recap of his match at SummerSlam. He talks about his match from last night. Talks up Randy Orton. He says that he was the better man that night. And that if Randy Orton was the greatest wrestler in the world, what does that make Drew McIntyre for beating him? He gives Orton a challenge and says if he takes it up, he's going to take him to Claymore Country. As McIntyre starts walking up the stage, Randy Orton attacks him. The fight breaks out, goes out to gorilla position. Orton gives McIntyre 2 punts before officials finally were able to pull him off. We then get a video package of Keith Lee, who's going to be premiering tonight. Backstage, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler exchange insults. And we go on to our first match, Bayley versus Shayna Baszler. Sasha Banks is at ringside.
Wild card, bitches! Yeah! What?
Before the match starts, Nia Jax comes out. She's standing up on the ramp. This is a decent match. It didn't really take long before Shayna Baszler gets chucked out of the ring. Nia Jax attacks Baszler. Disqualification. Jax starts to beat down on Baszler. Sasha Banks and Bayley are goading Jax on. And then Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax chase off Sasha Banks and Bayley. I guess we're going to see Banks and Bayley's opponent at Payback. We then have the Kevin Owens show, and his guest is Aleister Black. He comes out sporting an eye patch or bandage or however you want to call it. Owens asks how Aleister Black is doing. He ends up falling to a knee. Kevin Owens goes to help him, and Aleister Black ends up laying out Owens with an elbow and a black mass kick. We then have Cedric Alexander versus Akira Tozawa versus R-Truth versus Shelton Benjamin for the 24/7 title. This is an M match. Akira pins R-Truth, so Akira is now the 24/7 champion. It's getting old. We didn't get a recap of the Drew McIntyre attack that we saw 40 minutes ago. This leads us to our Hour 2 talk segment with Randy Orton rehashing the same shit we've heard all before. Thankfully, he's interrupted by the debuting Keith Lee. In an eloquent show of words, Keith Lee challenges Randy Orton to a match. Orton says maybe later, and it's soon confirmed that that match will be happening later on tonight. Backstage, Charlie Caruso asks Zelina Vega about Montez Ford. That really goes nowhere. But also Angel Garza's there with that whatever rando chick that we've been seeing the past couple of weeks. Why the fuck is she here? I don't know. We then go on to our next match, Angel Garza versus Montez Ford. Andrade, Zelina Vega, that random blonde chick, and Angelo Dawkins are at ringside. The match was decent. Ivar comes out, woos that random blonde chick, whatever, takes her to the backstage area. This distracts Angel Garza. Montez Ford gets the better of him, hits the money shot, gets the pin. Alright, I'm pretty much going to guess that next week we're going to have Angelo Dawkins versus Andrade. Why are we having this, this whole night, and I'll get to it later, it's just rehashes of everything. We keep saying the same shit over and over again. Backstage, it looks like we have a tenuous truce between Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, and after the commercial, it's confirmed that they'll be facing Sasha Banks and Bayley for the Women's Tag Championships. Then we got Zelina Vega and the Iconics versus the Riot Squad and Bianca Belair. This is an okay match until Zelina Vega and Belair got into it. Then it really started to step up a bit. Belair hit Zelina Vega with the KOD. Gets the pin. Backstage, MVP is still stirring the pot between Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. After a recap of the United States title match at SummerSlam, it gets way better because we have Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley in an arm wrestling match.
Oh, for God's sake.
I have no bottles to throw. What the fuck? Really? This is being officiated by Mark Henry. Apollo Crews and Bobby Lashley have microphones. They say their piece. Start to get ready to arm wrestle. Bobby Lashley is jaw-jacking with Mark Henry. Apollo Crews sneaks the win. The Hurt Business come running out, and Apollo Crews evades the attack. Alright, what the fuck? We have a recap of the Dominic Seth Rollins match. Then Lana and Natalya are in the ring. They're supposed to be inducting a Hall of Famer. We're supposed to be Mickie James. They make fun of her. Mickie James comes running out, lays them both out. What the fuck? This was a complete waste of fucking time. Backstage, the Hurt Business want in on Raw Underground. I thought they were supposed to be running this set. After a commercial, Bobby Lashley's beating up some rando. Then faces Dolph Ziggler. He gets taken down. I thought he was supposed to be facing Ivar. That never happened. Chucks another rando around. Okay. Then we got Randy Orton versus Keith Lee. This was a good match. Keith Lee was showing some amazing power, taking it Randy Orton in an impressive fashion. Orton starts to fight back. He's lining up for the RKO. Drew McIntyre comes out, attacks Randy Orton, causes disqualification. Starts to beat down on Orton, but Orton scurries away. We then have a recap of the Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, and Roman Reigns thing from last night. Okay, we're supposed to be seeing that on SmackDown again. Backstage, Drew McIntyre is attacked by Randy Orton, giving him a third punt for the night. It's later said by the doctor that he may end up having a skull fracture. Then we got Sasha Banks versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. I thought we were supposed to have no more automatic rematches. This one, however, is supposed to be a lumberjack match. There's a bunch of women around ringside. And match, Asuka won by submission. Alright. Back at Raw Underground, Bobby Lashley is still wreaking havoc around everybody. And this would be the final segment of Raw Underground. Like I said, we were supposed to have Dolph Ziggler versus Ivar. Didn't happen. Fuck it. And we go on to our main event, Dominic and Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins and Murphy. Before the match even starts, the fight starts up on the ramp. As soon as the bell rings, and match, almost everything that we saw from last night. The lights start going screwy this time though, and Retribution comes running in, starts beating down on Dominic and Rey. Rollins and Murphy take a bugger off into the ramp. Retribution continues to beat down on the two faces. They stand tall and we end tonight's Raw. Tonight's Raw straight out sucked. I didn't like it. The whole production and everything, the pyro, fireworks, the screens, that was good. Matches didn't. It was pretty much a rehash of one form or another from SummerSlam. We had, I don't think there was, with the exception of the Keith Lee Randy Orton match, everything was a rehash of last night. I don't know why Bayley was there. I mean, in a match. She's not a Raw person, but, you know, hey, wild card rule. Hopefully SmackDown will be much better. Can't be much worse. And that'll do it for this episode of Raw Recap. I'll be back on Friday for the SmackDown review. Leave a comment down below what you thought of tonight's Raw, what you thought about this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe. I've been Fatalroadie. You've been awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.